All that exists in the physical world began as a thought. And what happened with that thought is that someone or something applied action to that thought, and that thought then manifested into the physical world. So everything that you see, everything that you can touch, feel, experience, all began as a thought with someone or something, and it then manifested into the physical. And what we call that is creation. Now, creation is a three-step process. We have the thought, which would be step one. Then we have the action applied to that thought, which would be step two. And then the final, step three, would be the manifestation, which is the point in between the mental world or spiritual world and the physical world. Manifestation is that bridge. So the three steps, again, if you guys want to write it down, the three steps of creation is thought, number one, action, number two, and then manifestation, the final thought, brings things into existence. Now, what we manifest is that which we think. Without prejudice, thoughts will release into the ether, and the ether I'll explain in a moment, but thoughts will release into the ether, causing a ripple effect that will begin to attract things that are necessary to manifest the proper effect of that original thought. Whether it be good or bad, when you think that thought and release that thought, because the thought process is the releasing. You can't choose if you want to release it or not, because once you think it, it's already released. It's released into the ether, and then the universe will begin to move and begin to pull whatever's necessary to create the proper effect of that thought that you thought. Now, as I'm sure many of you know, thoughts have energy, tremendous energy, and they also have frequencies. And those frequencies can have a physical effect, and they almost always do have a physical effect on the thinker of that thought, the recipient of that thought, the person who maybe you share that thought with, and then also on the universe as we know it. Because once you release that thought, things begin to move. So now the building blocks are forming the new set immediate future based on the thoughts that were released. Now, there are two levels to the mind. We have the conscious mind, and then we have the subconscious mind. On the conscious level, we have the freedom to exercise the power of choice. Again, on the conscious level, we have the freedom to exercise the power of choice. Now, on the subconscious level, the power of choice is of no relevance, because on the subconscious level, things are created based on preset manifestation rhythms. So things that you have manifested throughout your life, your subconscious is like a memory foam. So it contours to things that you have manifested thus far. So when things begin to happen on the subconscious level, it starts to manifest things based on your prior manifestations. So there's no power of choice there because that's preset. The choices or the thoughts that you chose to release, or maybe your choices in certain situations, are in a sense downloaded into your subconscious mind. And then your subconscious, like I said, will manifest things based on basically your history, your mental history. Not your history, in the physical, but have thought in the past and the choices you have made in the past, all download to your subconscious. Now, earlier I spoke about ether. And for, you guys who don't know, ether is the space in between all matter or all things in existence as we know them. So we have everything that's in existence that we're aware of, and then we have this filling in between all of those things. Ether. Ether is that space in which frequencies travel. Light travels through the ether space. Your thoughts travel through the ether space. And that is where the term, like you heard of Ethernet, that's, how they got that term, because they send signals and frequencies through the Ethernet. It's the same thing with the mind and the universe and all that. So in the ether, frequencies travel. Now, ether fills not only, what's here on the earth, but ether fills the entire universe. So when you take into consideration the fact that thoughts are frequencies and that we're expelling these frequencies, where are we expelling those frequencies to? We're expelling those into the ether, which then has free roam throughout the entire universe. You can send the frequency of your thought to another room. You can send it to another state. You can send it to the other side of the earth, or you can send it to the farthest point in the universe. Because once you release that thought, now it's traveling through that ether space, which is infinite. So you think that thought, you send it out there, and what happens is it travels through the ether, and now the universe starts to respond to that thought. So it starts to attract, because there's different things that attract, but the most powerful form of attraction is a thought, because a thought will go out and grab what it needs to start manifesting, because thoughts are meant to create. Now, there's people who hold or have negative views, and all they have is negative thoughts. So the power of their mind and the power of their thoughts create that which they don't want. But the thing is, when you release those thoughts out there, there's not a prejudice there from the universe there when it starts to create. It's not going to look at your thought and say, you know what, maybe we shouldn't create this because it's a bad thought. All it knows is, here comes a frequency, and now it's going to do what it's supposed to do. Here comes a frequency. Let's pull together what we need to manifest this thought into the physical. Because we are creators. We're put here to create. We're put here to create reality as we move forward, as we see fit. But when thoughts are not being controlled, or there's an art to thinking, and a lot of people don't tap into that, and a lot of people don't even consider that. But thinking is not just a free roam or free range activity. You have to have some control over your thoughts, and you have to, in a sense, try to master your thoughts. Because once you do get in control of your thoughts, and now we talked about the power of focus last week, and I didn't post the audio, but I will post that for you guys. Once you can focus your energy, which, is basically focusing your thoughts, because your thoughts are your energy. Once you can focus that on the things that you wish to create, or the things that you wish to see multiply, because that which we focus on expands in our life. So that which we apply our thoughts to, or the direction in which we send our thoughts, because your thoughts are gatherers. So if you send your thoughts out, it goes into the ether and it begins to gather. It's going to go out, it's going to attract, it's going to gather to bring into the physical whatever you sent out in your thoughts. So if you put your thoughts on the things that you want, or the positive things, or positive energy into your thoughts will go out and gather the things that you wish to have and bring them to existence. So the art of thinking is something I would have you guys take a note on. And then also, as you go through your day, take a mental note of where your thoughts are at. What are the things that you're thinking of? and then look at the things that are happening in your life, and I promise you they're in perfect alignment with the thoughts that your mind that your mind is producing. So the power of the human mind, what is it in essence? The power of the human mind is that we have the power, and I said this last week, and this will be a call, I promise you. We have the power to create or manipulate or destroy, because it's always positive and negative, the yin and the yang. So create, manipulate, or destroy anything with the power of the human mind. The most powerful thing in existence is the human mind. And once you tap into that power, the possibilities are endless. So, at this point here, I told myself I was going to keep it to about 20 minutes because I didn't want to keep you guys too long. But I do appreciate everyone who called in. And the reason why I wanted to keep it to 20 minutes is because I wanted to open it up for a little bit of dialogue and see what you guys think, and then also, answer any questions that you guys may have. So at this time, I ask you guys, don't be shy or bashful or anything like that, but let's open it up a bit and have a little bit of a discussion. So is anyone up to chime in at this moment?
I guess I'll say something since everybody's going to stay here. I don't know who's on the call, but I know some of the people I may invited may not know what manifesting is, and if you could explain that.
All right, so manifesting, when we say we manifest, basically what it is to bring into existence, basically. So to manifest something is to take it from one state and bring it to another. So we're taking things from the mental state or from the thought stage, and we're bringing it into a physical existence. So when we say we manifest just means to create, basically.
Thank you.
No problem. So I appreciate all you guys for calling in. Again, I see a lot of familiar numbers and then also some new numbers. So, that's really encouraging to know that people are chiming in. I hope that you guys, were able to get something from this. And also, just exercise that power of your mind, of your thoughts, and begin to master the art of thinking so that you can attract the things that you want in your life. And also put a block on the things that you don't want to attract. Because we are sending out, or we are creating ripple effects with every thought. Every time you think a thought, I want you to picture waves coming out and just affecting everything around us, because basically that's what's happening. The next call next week will be the power of manipulation. And as negative as that sounds, it's not a negative call. Because to manipulate things is basically to take something and change it to what either you see fit or to what benefits you. And that's a power that we are supposed to exercise. And we'll talk about that more next week. And I hope to see everybody on the line on next week. All right? You guys have a good night. Love you guys, and I will talk to you next week.